This is the high density Espalier Gardener, and this is an update on the grapes. I am going to show how I'm preparing the vines for the cane pruning method and for the spur pruning method. So on the last video I showed how I had stubs here that I had cut off the permanent cordons, and now the shoots are starting to grow out. Here I have one shoot that I'm going to be tying off this way, and when this ones grow out here, I'll bring that shoot out this way. So normally the example that I'm going to be using would be like if we were in next year already. So I would be taking the canes here that were already 1 year old, and I would select the two best, and then I would set those up as cordons for the following year. But since this is the first year that I'm actually doing it, I'm going to set up the cordons this year, and I'll leave them here for another year so that next year they will already be here, and then the following year is when I'll actually start the cordon treatment and for cane pruning. But since I had to start all over, now I'm showing what it is that I'm doing in preparation for next year. So I have talked about in the videos how I tie the different things off with Velcro tape. Here's the Velcro tape, and make sure I leave it nice and loose. This is not going to be really tight up against the wire. I just want to train it to come into the direction that I want it to go. I don't want to pinch off or girdle the vines. It's kind of interesting doing it one-handed, but I guess it's possible. So there, and I've already nipped off or pinched off the growing tip here. So now the parts that will be growing will be the vines going up here, as well as here and here and here, etc. So that is simply me setting up my cane as a cordon for next year. Then next year it will already be set up, and then 2 years from now I will select canes that have come up all from this area, that then in 2 years from now I'll select 1 year canes, 2 of them. I will cut off everything else, and I will set up new 1 year old cordon canes for cordons along the wires. At that point you are supposed to just nip off an additional 2 canes, leaving stubs in preparation for setting up the canes for the following year. Okay, so that's setting up the cane pruning method for next year for the perlette, and next I'll show what's going on for the blueberry. And the perlette is an example of all of those grapes that I have now started to prune for the cane method. The blueberry, I'll use this as an example of what it is that I'm doing in preparation for the spur method. Okay, so here I have little buds coming out. I'm going to let these come out, and then I'm going to select the best one, probably this one, because it's on this side. And I will train that across on the wire here, and I will leave that there permanently, just like I have this one. So I will have a cordon going each way. Here I have the cordon growing up to the end that I'm leaving here permanently for the blueberry spur. Now, I made a mistake before in that all of the little bud growing areas, I had trimmed them back really close to the vine. That's a mistake. You shouldn't do that. The way you prune for spur, and I'll use this one as an example, and is that you're supposed to leave at least two little bud growing areas when you cut. So in preparation for next year, once the fruit has come out, we've harvested the grapes, and it's time for pruning, I will cut right here. And then this piece here with the bud growing areas here, two bud growing areas. This one is a small bud growing area, but supposedly that one doesn't count. It's here, this one, and this one that would count. So I will be cutting just above that, leaving this little spur. And then the new canes, the new vines will be growing out from those two areas. And I will be doing that on each of my growing areas. So I'll have a spur here, one about here, and then here. And I'll have little stubs. Those little stubs are what are called the spurs. And just as a side note, you can see the grapes are already coming out on the blueberry here. And here. From what I understand, that is typical of spur pruned grapes, but I have yet to prove that, so we'll see. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please post them and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.